Don't know how I'm gonna start this, but yeah, we'll jump into it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the first Ethan G interview. Today I have my friend Ryan, who's a local photographer in the music scene. Hey, thank you for coming out today.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Dude. Yeah, no, happy to be doing this.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Breaking
for sure.
some new things. So just to start us off, why don't you tell people a little bit about like what you do for the scene?
Yeah. So I just do a lot of photography for the scene. We're coming up on 2 years now, being in the scene, which is crazy to me. It'll be 2 years on Thursday. Which is
hell yeah, dude.
Or Wednesday, I mean.
Is that 2 years from like the first photo you posted?
No,
or from...
first show that I ever went to.
Nice. What was the first show?
First show, it was the original Stumbling Block, like outdoor venue. Yeah. The lineup was Det Metra, Athena, Harrison Gordon Has a Band, and Kangaroo Court.
That's crazy. Especially, when you say like Harrison Gordon, like back then, like that's like
dude,
huge jump nowadays. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's super sick. Yeah. No. I think I first met you at one of the coffee house shows back in the day. I remember. I didn't know you even did photography though. We were just like,
I was using my phone back then, so that was like I didn't really have like a big camera to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally like a photographer.
Yeah, it was just something you were doing for fun at that point. Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. So I guess that kind of goes into my first question. I was just gonna ask you, how'd you get into? What made you want to start getting into photography in the scene, and what do you feel that makes your photos unique nowadays, as opposed to other people doing it?
Yeah. So what kind of got me into it? I'd always like been taking photos and videos. When I was in high school, I just like filmed a bunch of skateboarding and stuff like that, and I still do it on occasion. But that's what kind of got my love sparked for like photography. And I was just taking it with my phone, obviously, like I said before. But as I kind of just like kept taking more and more photos, I was like talking with more photographers, and they were like, oh, hey, you should maybe try this shot, or like just trying different compositions and stuff like that. And eventually, probably around March 2023, people were just coming up to me constantly being like, dude, just get a camera, just get a camera, just get a camera, just get a camera. So that was like, okay. And then I started asking around to like, like 2 or 3 other photographers that were in the scene at the time, like what kind of photos or what kind of cameras that they're using, what lenses. And then I landed on my Sony A6400, plugged by Aaron Wolf. He was the one that told me to get it.
Awesome.
But yeah, and then I just worked over the summer a ton, and I bought it. So that was when I bought it. I was like, dude, I just spent so much money on this. Oh no,
it's worth
dude.
it though. I mean, dude, look what you've done. Like you're easily the most recognizable photographer in the scene down here. Like,
yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, no, of course, dude.
But
from there, what is it about doing the live music photography that you really enjoy? I mean, outside of just going to shows and the music, like, is there like what draws you to that?
I don't know. I like the local scene. There's just such a like tight knit like community that is there, and it like, I mean, it kind of transferred over from skateboarding because I had a ton of close friends when I was skateboarding. And now I have a ton of close friends in the local scene. So it's a very similar vibe, which I like a lot. Yeah. And I never really got into like the club scene, like DJs, whatever. I mean, I was listening to like electronic music in high school and stuff like that, but it definitely tapered off when I got to college. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just such a big like collective, and it's not even just here. I mean, obviously, like within the past like year or so, Bloomington-Normal has become the like quote unquote spot.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
And I've like hearing it from so many people. It's like, I mean,
which is super dope cool. Spots like got the Tally now. You got the new garages that are popping up. That it's always just fun to go to a house show.
Dude, totally.
Yeah, no, and then I feel like shows are starting to kind of make their way over into the downtown area as well. Like some of the bars, like I know Six Strings did a show not too long ago. Daddy-O's I know is starting to kind of break in that kind of stuff too, and it's just really cool to see that the audience is growing so much to where places like that can start having shows, which are just gonna make the scene grow even bigger because more people who don't even know about these house shows are gonna be popping out.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know this scene existed until my friends were like, "Yo, dude, we're going to this house show
Yeah.
that my friend is playing in a band at. You should totally come."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Best experience of my life. Like definitely one of the best.
Yeah.
But also like being in the scene for as long as I have, and you know, kind of noting how you were saying it's kind of transferring more to the Bloomington area. That's what a lot of the bands were talking about. Like probably like a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago when I started getting close with all of them, they were like, yeah, we really want to try and like move the scene from Normal to Bloomington.
Yeah, most definitely. Just get that spread. I mean, it's cool too because I mean, it's not even just Bloomington. You know, you got a bunch of shows happening over there in Champaign, Urbana, Peoria, things like that. Like, it's just like going. You said a little bit about doing like the EDM scene. I saw you do some pictures recently. Where was it? Electric Hotel Nightclub.
Dude,
that was sick, dude. Like seeing those, I was like, oh, you're breaking into a whole new thing now. Like,
yeah, man. I actually, so the DJ that I shot there, his like stage name is OK, OOKAY, and I met him back in 2017. He did a little like pop-up show at the Bean in Chicago. Super cool. And there was one point when he was doing the pop-up where he was just like, you know what? If you guys don't know why you're here, let me tell you why. And then he told us that we were going to be a part of one of his music videos.
Swear.
So if you look up on YouTube, Cool by OK and like the official music video, I'm in it next to him a couple times.
Swear.
I'm like, if you look for me, I'm wearing a gray and black winter jacket.
Okay.
And like I think it's like a white and black beanie. So
when I'm going through editing this, I'm definitely gonna go check it out. Like,
yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll even throw up a little little picture of you, just like, oh, there he is. I might have to do something like that.
I think I was 14. No, I think I just turned 15. And like that was the crazy experience.
No,
and I told him that I had like texted him a couple times. He was like, "Oh, dude, just hit me up that you were here, and then I'll like hit you back up." And we've just been texting periodically since.
That's sick.
And like, you know,
that's how it goes,
dude. Exactly.
You never know. Like, man, you make a friend. I mean, dude, it's honestly kind of like with you. Like, you know, I remember like, we were at whatever show with the coffee house once, and we just got each other on Snap, and then I saw you like post like I saw you like skateboarding a lot. I'm like, oh, and I remember even like you posted like a little logo or something. I remember like the tree.
Yeah, there was for a very like brief period, I had this like company called Talking Tree Skate Co.
Okay.
Like hand drew the logo, the characters, and everything, and there were like a ton of variations.
Yeah. No, I remember it. It was a dope little look. I actually found a screenshot of it not too long ago. I was like, oh, this is sick. Yeah, swear to God, dude. I found that. I'm like, dude, that was sick. Yeah.
Yeah. I made a couple T-shirts. I still actually have like the original screen that I printed it on, but
nice.
The company never really went anywhere. I don't know. I just never really put as much effort towards it as I kind of intended.
Gotcha.
Which I'm not super mad about.
Yeah.
Like, I did it, and I'm glad that I did it. But
yeah, you can always revisit something too. You know, revisit even if it's just like the logo or the brand of it. Like you could just do something new with it if you ever wanted to.
Yeah,
some cool stuff.
I'm working on a lot of like personal branding stuff. I mean, also it's like for one of my classes, but still, I think it very much applies, and I'm trying to just kind of figure a lot of that stuff out so I can also use it for my photography as well as like my graphic design stuff.
Most definitely. No, most definitely. I feel all of that. Next thing, do you have any specific photographers or anyone that you look up to that inspires you? Like, not just on a local level, but like, you know, professional?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh man. I might have to like look at this.
Yeah, no, you're chilling. That's with me.
It's
like when someone asks me like what like who my favorite artist is or like what's my favorite this or that, I'm just like or like video games. When someone asks me like what video games are you into, I'm like literally all I do is play video games, but I cannot answer that right now.
Yeah. One artist that was like kind of the first person that I ever like looked up to just because the like aesthetic of their photos was just really, really nice. Was Nina King. So like their photos are like, it's just so nice.
Okay.
Like it's just a very like warm feeling. Yeah, it was just so cool because that was like one of the first like big photographers that I like saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, these are like so cool. And then it was Photogeny Kate on Instagram that I saw. I forget whose like photos it was for. I think it might have been Harrison Gordon or something like that. But as I was just looking, I was like, dude, these are insane.
Yeah.
So it's always just so cool to like just see other people's photos and like how they take it, just because you can definitely get inspiration from them. And I definitely think that that's like a very like key part of photography is getting inspiration. I feel like there's very like minimal shots that you can get with like, you know, kind of local band shows in like houses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like a lot of the photos definitely will look similar. But I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Once you start kind of moving up, like in photography, you'll definitely be like, okay, I actually want to do this. Or like, I want to take photos in this environment or whatever. But another thing that also like helps is lenses.
Yeah.
One lens that I got pretty early on, a couple months after I actually got my camera, was a 7.5 millimeter fisheye lens from Seven Artisans. It has a 180 degree field of view, and it's like it's a true fisheye too. So I see a lot of photographers that are like, oh yeah, dude, it's a fisheye, when it's literally just like a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a true fisheye is more like the edges.
Like, it's a straight 180 degree field.
Yeah, the edges are warped.
Yeah.
So if you ever like look at a couple of my photos on Instagram where I'm like super close up to like a guitarist or something, and the guitar like I think neck is just like bending. That's the warping of the fisheye.
Okay. That's sick.
So that's kind of how you can tell if something's like a true fisheye versus, I don't know, because like I used to have like this fisheye lens for my phone. It was just like a clip-on one.
Yeah, I got a couple.
And there
of those.
was slight warping, but it was
not
more
the
just,
true thing. Like,
no,
you're really
exactly.
looking for. Yeah.
And that was kind of like what I wanted when I got a fisheye. I mean, also I was like, I might film skateboarding with this camera, so having a fisheye would help.
I feel like a fisheye lens for like skateboarding videos. That's like the. I don't know. Whenever you see like old skateboarding videos, they always got the fisheye lens. It just makes it look so dope.
It's the lens for skateboarding.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. So my next question, I guess you might have already kind of hit on this, but what was some of your favorite photos what's like one of your favorite photos that you have ever taken at a show, or like one of your favorite memories that you've had from doing photography?
Yeah. I'll go out first by saying one of my like standout memories from a show was, I don't know, back in, I want to say around November-ish of 2022. I was seeing Feed the Monkeys at Coffee House, and I had gotten super into the scene at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going to shows every single Friday and Saturday. Like basically whenever a show was happening, I was probably there.
Yeah.
So like they were playing, and I always used to like help the bands with Teardown. And that's just how I met a lot of the bands. And how I got close with them. So after I like helped them like tear down the whole thing, they were like, hey, we're going to DPDO. Like, do you want to come with? And I was like, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my first kind of like one-on-one with a band, which was super
like kicking
cool.
it with like the bands.
Exactly.
Like, after, yeah.
And that was just like a memory that will be ingrained in me, I think,
definitely.
Forever.
Yeah, that's sick.
So, and then it just kept happening.
Yeah.
Like I would always like help them out or like get the shows before and just like talk to people. 'Cause like kind of at that point, a lot of my friends who I'm still friends with, but they were like, right as I was getting into the scene, they were coming out of it and they were like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So I was going to a lot of shows by myself.
Yeah.
And it definitely sucked for the first couple just because I was like, I don't know anybody, but like everybody else seems like they do.
I relate to that, yeah. Like when you first start going, you're just like, oh, like Now it's like to the point I know you can relate. You see like literally 50 people and you gotta dap everyone up
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
what's up,
yeah.
man? How you doing? Like it
Dude,
just doesn't stop. And it's awesome though. Like it feels like a home, honestly. That's how
Oh
I
my
feel
gosh.
with it. Like
100%.
that last Stumbling Block show at the new spot.
Yeah.
I remember you were there and that whole night. I was
Oh
like
my
only
gosh.
in there for like half of the shows just because I was
Yeah.
like talking to people so much. You know, it's just nice to just see everyone and.
Dude, yeah.
Especially when school starts back up and you got like
Oh,
way
man.
more people coming back around. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man, it's such a good feeling being at those shows.
Yeah.
I think that like another, at least like in terms of photos that I've taken, there's one where it was at Stumbling Block. It was when 4x4 Animal Style was playing, and this is one of my personal favorite photos compositionally speaking. It's Kendall and Manny, and they're both kind of like standing near each other, but I have the camera basically on the floor. And it's just like looking up at them, almost like a worm eye view.
Yeah.
I love those photos so much.
What do you think of Fisheye for
Yep.
that one? Cool.
Yep. And they're just like warped, and they have an artist that I like really, really look up to just in terms of like just stylistically is Robert Valley, and it's just a lot of like warped kind of character designs. So they're like super skinny but kind of have like a little bit bigger shoes, and it's like it's so cool, and that shot is
Kinda
almost
captures that. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool.
That's probably one of my favorite shots
Awesome.
that I've taken.
No, that's sick. Yeah. No, love that. While we're on the topic of memories, what's the because I've been to like the Tally shows, dude.
Oh man,
Crazy stuff happens at the
insane.
Tally. So it's like just like what can you think of like what one of the craziest things is that you've seen happen at a show?
Yeah.
If you can talk about it.
Dude, yeah.
Because I've seen some crazy shit happen at some of these shows.
Yeah, for sure. I like the first ever kind of crazy thing that I saw at a show. Well, okay, you know what? I'll do it two ways. The first way, I'll explain it that happened to me, and then I'll go about like, you know, the other side of it.
Yeah.
First, like craziest thing to happen at a show to me was crowd surfing for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It was to Kangaroo Court, Grandpa Ted's Big Adventure at the second Bird Fest.
Nice.
That was like an insane experience for me,
Yeah.
because I'd always like seen people doing it. I'm like, man, that's so cool. And then I was just up there and I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So it's like, it's so cool. And then one of the craziest experiences that I've seen happen, at least, I guess it's not necessarily like too crazy in the grand scheme of things, but when Monarch was playing at Rock Bottom around this time last year, and Blaine, the lead guitarist, he was playing and then he just smashed his guitar. That was insane.
Yeah, man. No, shout out Blaine and shout out
Oh my gosh,
Monarch.
yeah.
I love them. Love them.
I remember him diving into the kit when they played Coffee House.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
remember that. I'm pretty sure I was there for that. Yeah, because there was like a picture of him. You might have actually taken that picture,
I
didn't
did.
you? Where he's just like.
Yep. I took a picture, and then I also took like a sequential like picture of him like actively running and jumping into the kit.
Awesome. That's why we need
I think
people
it's
like
posted
Ryan.
somewhere on
Yeah,
my
no, yeah,
account.
I'll have to find
But
that.
yeah.
No, that's why we need people like you, because you capture the moments like that. That just like. That's
Dude,
no,
yeah.
it's just craziness. Yeah.
It's blurry as hell too.
But that
yeah.
adds, because you get to see the motion with the blur. Like that's what adds to it. You know,
It's
like
so sick.
that's what does it. Yeah, no, that's sick, dude. Got one last question for you. Just like for people who are trying to get into what you do, photography, especially like in live music, do you have any advice that you would give to someone getting into that, or like something that maybe you wish you knew when you first started getting into things?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would say that probably, like, if you really want to get into photography, but you really don't know where to start, just start shooting photos with your phone. that's what I did. Like, and the photos, like, phone cameras are really, really good.
But yeah. No,
Like, I've got some insane photos that I took on my phone, which is like crazy. But I would say if you want to get into photography, but you don't know if you want to spend like a couple $100 or even like $1,000 on a camera, just start shooting with your phone because you already have it. Or if you want to get just one of those simple point and shoot cameras, because I know those are pretty cheap, you can also do that. I have a couple of my friends, Danny and his cam, shout out to him. But yeah, like a lot of people like do that. And especially now I'm seeing a ton of people with just point and shoot cameras, and I'm like, dude, this is like so sick to see.
Yeah, no, because it definitely brings a different aesthetic, especially like.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm definitely like whenever I do any of the photography that I do, because I'm would never call myself a photographer or nothing,
Yeah.
but I definitely enjoy doing flash just because. I don't know. There's just like an essence that I feel like it captures, especially when it's this chaos going like at a show and you get that flash going with it. I don't know, man. It just like adds to it, you know.
No, that definitely makes sense. I would say for me personally, I like don't use it because of that reason.
Yeah.
So like, flash does have a certain look to it, and like certain people like that. I personally don't. That's just because. I don't know. I feel like the flash is like, it kind of ruins the ambiance in a way of house shows.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't use it that much. I've used it a handful of times,
Yeah.
but I don't use it consistently. I mean, also the fact that a lot of venues, like, you know, more professional venues like the Castle in Bloomington, you can't use flash there. They will explicitly tell you cannot use flash.
Okay. I didn't know that was like a rule at play. That makes sense, though. It does make sense.
Yeah, it's just like, it's distracting for people sometimes. I mean, especially on like a huge stage like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah. No, awesome. No, man, this was great. Again, dude, appreciate you coming through.
100%, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll follow Ryan at RyanMCC
_photos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
See you guys.